time to hear the music of our world, our culture, our artistry. Opening night. Opening night. Opening night.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And welcome to opening night, which is coming to you tonight from the Martin Luther King School in Manhattan, as we celebrate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King and his works, and commemorate the works and life, whose life embodied the works and spirit of Dr. King, Dr. Cleveland Robinson. Did I pronounce his name correctly?
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
Cleveland Robinson.
Cleveland Robinson. And Claude, what do you think so far about how the night is going to be?
I think it's going to be an exciting night. I see the people have filed in.
And a large crowd tonight.
Taking their seats, and I think that they are really in for a real treat. All the entertainment that's on the show tonight.
That's right.
And the wonderful speakers. So we'll be giving you bits and pieces and excerpts, so please stay with us. My name is Claude Jay.
And I am Genovis Albright, coming to you again from the Martin Luther King School here in Manhattan, celebrating the life of Dr. King. As we celebrate the nation's birth, and reflect on, oh Lord, how far we've come. Let us not forget that our work for the children has just begun. Give them your love, your mind, your time. Let's take the time to understand that a child is in need of, everywhere you look, everywhere you go, all over the world, a helping Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot say enough about her. Her name is Yolanda King. Please give her a strong welcome.
Mr. Albright is always so wonderful in his introduction. I look around and try to figure out who he's talking about. It's so good to be with you this evening. I have had the opportunity to participate in King programs all over the country for the last week or so, and will be doing so until January 26th. But I must admit that this is one of the special ones. I feel like I am at home with family, extended family, and friends, and I want to congratulate, I was about to say Aunt Fran. That's my mama, one of my mamas. Mrs. Fran Lucas and the Martin Luther King Jr. Center New York Support Group, all of you have just been so wonderfully supportive and faithful and dedicated all these years, and I am so grateful. And on behalf of my family, my entire family, the King Center, Board of Directors and Trustees, as well as Board of Advisors, as well as the King Center staff. I also want to express a special word from Philip Mott, who many of you know, chairperson of the Program and Special Events Committee of the support group, could not be here this evening because of a long-standing commitment, and he called me right before I left and said, please let everyone know he wanted so much, he tried so hard to get here and to be here, and but was not able to. It's great to see you all. My father often said the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. And truly, Cleve Robinson will remain everlasting in our memories because of the courage that he demonstrated time and time again. He supported those causes that are so dear to us long before we even supported them in many instances. He helped to pull us in. And we are so grateful that he rose to the task time and time again. He rose to the challenge on so many occasions. A series of questions that my father always asked. They are: cowardice asked the question, is it safe? Expediency asked the question, is it politic? Vanity asked the question, is it popular? But conscience asked the question, is it right? Thank God, time and time again, Cleve Robinson followed his conscience, and we, all of us, are the better for it. Along with my father, Mr. Robinson believed in the power of people. He had faith in people. He knew that the possibilities of humankind for good are limitless, but it requires a commitment from individuals like you and I to make the difference. Social systems are the result of collective individual convictions. The elimination of poverty, of racism, of war and violence from the face of the earth, the creation of genuine brotherhood and sisterhood can only begin with the individual where he or she is, right now, linking with others and striving for change. I summon you, as I know my father and Mr. Robinson would do so. We must get up off of our apathy. That's right. And continue the work that is left to be done. I would like to close by sharing a story that I think captures both the spirit of the two men in such a powerful way. It talks about a man who was taken to the far corners of the universe. An angel showed this man a huge banquet table. The table had all of the finest delicacies the mind could imagine. There were vegetables and fruits of all sorts, lobster, T-bone steak, prime rib. For some, there was mutton stew and fried bread. For some, there were enchiladas and tacos. For some, roast piglet. For some, tempura. For some, lox and bagels. For some, lasagna. For some, there was fried chicken, collard greens, sweet potato pie, and homemade ice cream. But when the man looked at the people surrounding the banquet table, he noticed that they were frail, emaciated, unhealthy. He asked the angel, why with all of these delicious foods, why are the people so unhealthy? The angel explained there is but one law in this entire universe. He then rushed the man to another corner of that universe, to another kingdom, and there the man found the same banquet table with the same set of delicious foods. But this time, the people around the table were happy and healthy, and there was laughter and joy in the air. He turned to the angel and asked him, what is the difference between this kingdom and the other? The angel explained there is still but one law in this entire universe. That law says you must utilize the utensils provided by the management. The only problem was that the utensils were 10 feet long. In the first kingdom, where the people were so unhappy and miserable and unhealthy, they were using those 10 feet forks and 10 feet spoons, and they were trying to feed themselves, and they were literally starving to death. But in the other kingdom, where there was laughter and joy, and the people were happy and healthy and vibrant, they were using those 10 feet forks and 10 reaching across the table and feeding each other. That is what we must do. We must reach across the ignorance, the greed, the selfishness, the fear, the illiteracy, across the socio-economic, racial differences, religious differences, and in the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr. and Cleveland Robinson, start feeding each other. God bless you and thank you for this opportunity.
Just a word, or maybe a song. If I can show somebody that they're traveling wrong, then shall not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a Christian, if I can bring a little beauty to this world gone wrong, if I can share love's message as the Master, as he taught, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. No. My living shall not be, no, it won't be in vain. And if I can help somebody as I pass along, shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. No, my living shall not be, no, it won't be in vain. And if I can help somebody, oh, as I pass along, then my living, then my
we have an emphasis on that. The other thing is that we need to keep young people aware of Dr. King's work and how he joined together with other people in coalitions to bring about nonviolent social change.
Yolanda, just as being the daughter of Dr. King, who is certainly world-renowned, how do you manage to keep a personal perspective on him, and what is the thing that you remember most about your dad?
Well, what I'm able to do, which I think has saved me, is that I have learned to separate Daddy from the man. And Daddy, for me, it was my first buddy and the one who I laughed with and played ball in the house with and taught me to swim and to ride bicycles and didn't believe in spanking kids. Of course, Mama said if he had spent more time with us, he would have changed his mind. But he was my buddy. Martin Luther King Jr., the man, however, the leader, the spokesperson, the champion for civil and human rights, all of those, the nonviolent warrior, those I have the same respect for them and for him in that arena as other people do. And I'm not
concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you,